I like that shit a lot.
Are you still playing a ton of
Critters,
Escape from Tarkov?
so much Escape from Tarkov.
I
I'm
have
getting
a
better and
This
better at
phase
it.
is
dude.
lasting a very long time
Yeah,
for
I
you.
have a friend who's trying to drag me into that game, and I'm low gauge concerned about its addictive properties. I don't know anyone who just dabbles in Escape from Tarkov. They
Nobody dabbles effectively. You can't.
right. So there's that, and then oh, I wrote to them. And I'm like, hey guys, I'm Woody's gamertag. I'm interested in playing your game. I have hundreds of millions of views on YouTube and millions on Twitch. Perhaps you'd like to give me a copy. They didn't write back. They're Escape from Tarkov.
Shut up, boomer.
I wish they said that.
Yeah, you'd be better off tweeting him.
Oh, maybe.
You can tweet like the guy who owns the company, Nikita.
Really?
He's very involved. He like more so than like a Cliff Blazinski. He's like he does like a podcast like a couple times a month with all with like the top content creators, and they quiz him and question him about what's coming, what changes could be done, and he takes their advice regularly and alters the way the game works. It's really he's really hands on.
I'd like to save the money on the purchase price of the game. I guess I'm just being cheap, but I'd also like I don't know. Do I want a little leg up? Like a little loot, starting loot? Is that a silly thing to ask for?
Well, they can't do that, but if you buy the Edge of Darkness edition, like the $150 version, you get a little bit of loot, but it's negligible. Like it's the amount of loot that I would like lose in a night and not even cough at. Like it's a couple 100,000 rubles. Like I've got my cash money, and then I've got like the value of my stash, like all my belongings, and I don't know, I've got like 20 million rubles cash, and then my stash is worth like another 100 million rubles cash.
You play the market at all in it?
Yeah. I buy low, sell high.
You think you've been successful at that?
You can clearly see like how you're doing. So essentially, you have these AI traders, and each of them sells a different like category of goods. There's a medical trader and an attachment trader, sort of, and so you do these little missions for them in game. It'll be like kill 5 human players while having a trimmer, and it takes forever to do it, but they give you XP. You gain loyalty rank with them, and they pay you sometimes some sort of like bounty. And once you've got your traders up to level 4, which is the maximum, 1, 2, 3, 4, you've unlocked all the goods that they can sell. But very few players have done that. So you click on the 4 tab, and you're like, oh, this is where you can buy the good ammo. You just buy all that good ammo from that trader at a very low price. There's a limited supply that he's got like 500,000 rounds. So you buy as many as you can, then turn around, put it right on the market for 20% more, and it sells instantly.
Because those people can't buy level 4 things.
They haven't put the work in. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I highly recommend it. It's there's so many like how to get started guides and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. There's a map you can play called Factory that's very small, and you can just go in, you'll die, you get back out, you just go right back in. It's not a big deal.
I don't know. I'm playing World War Z again, a game no one else plays, and man, that game is just up my alley. Like I have fun with it. They've introduced a lot of new content. Right, there's new maps to play. People know Left 4 Dead. There'd be like new Left 4 Dead maps.
Yeah.
And but they also introduced a horde mode, right? So there's almost like Nazi zombies where they just keep coming and coming. And there's me and a couple of friends. We're like calling out and working together in a coordinated way, and we'd never succeed without that, teamwork. And like I really get a charge out of it. And I think I am amongst dozens of players who are really enjoying that game. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's Tarkov is I still think Rust is the best game ever. But Tarkov is an amazing game because it has so many elements that Rust also has, but it has it in a way that you can play the game in bites. You don't have to gorge yourself, because in Rust, if you take a day off, you fall way behind because there's that weekly wipe or that bi-weekly or that bi-monthly wipe that you can fall into, and you're like, I gotta be ahead of everybody in tech and armor and such. In this, it's like I'm there. I could take 2 weeks off right now. I don't fall behind in any way whatsoever.
It almost seems like Rust pushed it too hard, right? Like there's a thing games do where they make you strive to achieve, to level up, to get your things, to get more loot, etc. And Rust gets you so hooked It makes you work so hard that you're like, well, I'm actually discovering this isn't worth it, right? Whereas like COD, you level up, you want all your stuff, people get to the end, but it's achievable. It doesn't kill you.
Yeah, and you can take days off, and it doesn't matter. You're still going to
Tarkov
be
too,
right there.
yeah, and
Tarkov's like RPG element is the skills. Like there's a lot of them, and they're things like memory and perception and strength and endurance, and they have effects on how you interact in the game. Like I can run dramatically farther than a base level player can, dramatically farther, which is a huge deal. Because if you're out of breath, you're shaky as fuck. You're like, and you can't aim straight. And I regain my stamina much more quickly than a regular player. I reload faster. I jump higher. I can carry more stuff. And I'm by no means
has changed into virtual fitness talk.
Yeah, it's got RPG elements, and you're building this character, and I'm nowhere near like getting like to maxed out. Like nobody is. Like there's a few people who have maxed out one skill or another, but nobody's maxed out all the skills. And the game, it's been going for like this wipe's 3 or 4 months in. Nikita says it's supposed to take years to max your character out. He also says, like, people were like, this element of the game here, this isn't fun. He's like, you shouldn't have fun playing this game. That's the best. That's the best reply ever. It's like, this game isn't meant to be fun.
Well, then it's not a very good game, is it?
It might be.
The lows are so low. If
I mean, he's clearly being facetious.
He's not. There are things
toward the kind of people who like are really intense at this and like, yeah, this is almost like a job,
Oh no, the people who are intense at it hate when he says that, because they're like, we're having fun though.
Oh really?
But there's like parts of the game that are literally just there to be like, yeah, that's what life's like. You fractured your leg. What'd you think? You're just gonna run it? You're just gonna keep going?
Oh, I fractured my leg in COD before. I kind of get red vision for 3 seconds and I'm improved.
Yeah, you die in this game. If you've got a fractured leg and you just keep running on it, you just bleed to death. You just bleed to death.
Hello, comrade. Did you know it is tax season? Yes.
That's a great one.
Just you've got to literally fill out forms for a fictional character. Fuck, I don't know. Is this deductible or not? I mean,
Can I? Come here.
This ammo that I bought for my character, it's tax deductible, right? She's like, yeah, but you bought it in rubles. We're going to have to convert everything.
Yes. You're talking to some Russian guy who's like, well, and how big is your workspace at home? It is only 500 square feet. What are you? How about 750? Do you think that sounds right? That bit? That's what I thought. We get a little more, yeah. Like, I just want to play again. It's like, all right, now on to dependence.
They're adding very realistic features to the game that are meant to make the game less fun, like cleaning your weapon. And I don't mean in the game being like, I mean like between raids, which is what you call when you go play. You got to go into like your hideout, which is like this thing you build, which is literally like a little underground bunker with lots of things in it. And you get your gun and you fucking clean that bitch out and polish it and like run a brush through it. And if you go play with a dirty gun, it'll fucking and you've got to like try to they're adding that in. That's a thing they're going to add, that you have to keep your weapons clean.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's hyper realistic. It's not fun. But for guys like me who are like putting a lot of time into it, and like I'm like, I'll have them sparkling clean. And I'm thinking like, I never clean my guns in real life. I'd spray brake cleaner in them and then shoot them with an air hose.
Yeah. Do you think they'll add that?
No, they won't. But I think they actually are adding brake cleaner, so maybe they will. Yeah, I fucking dig that game a lot. I was playing it just before we started the show. I
think I'll probably kick it off in 2 hours when we're done.
I usually don't play after the show. I'm usually pretty wiped. I'm on a regular sleep schedule right now where I go to bed about like, sometimes I've been going to bed at like 10 p.m. and waking up at like 6 a.m. But it kind of floats up back and forth 2 or 3 hours. So sometimes I stay up to 1 and I sleep a little later. But I haven't been staying up all night for a few weeks or so, like that. Something like that.
So you're on a pretty good schedule, actually. Like you're not drifting back into the nocturnal mode.
Like I said, it goes back and forth. So like today I woke up a little bit later. It was like almost noon when I woke up. But last night I stayed up like really for me it was lately. I stayed up like 3, which was very unusual. But yeah, it's a pretty good sleep schedule lately. I've been
That's good.
been digging that.
See, isn't it better?
Um.
You don't miss all the sunlight. You get some vitamin D.
Oh, I've got this room blacked out, dude. There's no light
Okay,
coming in
well,
here.
never mind then. But don't you
Yeah.
feel better not waking up at 3 p.m.?
It depends what you're going to do that day. You know, a lot of my friends that I play with are in California, so sometimes it's advantageous to wake up a little bit later in the day. Yeah, I guess I feel a little bit better. You know,